this lesson, you will learn how to use ALM Octane for your SAP S4 HANA transformation. This could be a system conversion project or even a new implementation or changes you are doing as part of your continuous improvement process to your HANA environment. You should make sure that those are also quality assured continuously. This is something you will need. Your whole ERP business is moving towards S4 HANA. So what you need to make sure is that this transformation does not affect your business. So you need to really focus on the quality of your S4 HANA implementation. Now, before we discuss and see how to use ALM Octane and how to structure ALM Octane for your S4 HANA transformation projects, let's understand what we are actually talking about. 10 years ago, SAP has modernized the whole ERP business and has taken this to the next generation by allowing customers to become faster and orchestrate their processes, their businesses, and taking advantage of the new features the HANA platform provides, including machine learning and artificial intelligence, and get faster in their day-to-day implementation and business work. While S4 HANA is a great way forward for all SAP customers, it requires still a lot of consideration when moving towards S4 HANA. So the easiest use case, and here you can see the 3 use cases SAP is suggesting. So you might have your different starting points. So the first starting point is the easiest one. You are a new organization working on-premise with any kind of ERP tool, and you want to move towards the cloud, or you want to use it on-premise, the new implementation. So then this scenario is the easiest one. So you can get started with S4 HANA and go towards the cloud or adopt Fiori, whatever you prefer, you can get it running. The second and third scenarios are a bit more complex, which requires more your attention in order to get a successful implementation and transformation towards HANA. So the second scenario is you are running a SAP Business Suite on any DB, then you have to upgrade first to the latest EHP and migrate your database to SAP HANA DB, and then deploy your Exchange innovation, and then you can transform data to the cloud or work on premise. It's completely up to you. Or the third scenario is you are using the business suite and which is powered by SAP HANA. So you just need to make sure that on premise you deploy your Exchange as innovation services, and then transfer your data to the cloud and run it in hybrid mode or completely move to the cloud. It's then up to you. And while you are doing so, you need to make sure that your business processes are covered and still up and running. So you cannot have an interruption on your daily business while doing this migration. Let's take a look on the SAP S4 HANA functions and modules which are provided. And when you are moving towards HANA, you need to make sure that those modules you can continuously monitor and track that all the changes you are doing, if it's because of the new implementation or system conversion, or even as part of your continuous improvement process, that those are stable and there is a built-in quality as part of your process. Otherwise, it could be that your whole process is not stable and you are running into issues while transforming towards HANA. So this is one way to monitor your S4 HANA ERP business. The other way is probably that you build your structure based on the SAP S4 HANA business processes. So this is also a common way where customers like to monitor which are the business processes I'm using and what is the health of the business processes. And also here I would really recommend to have a built-in quality for your continuous improvement process, so you can make sure that whatever you are delivering out to your business, it is working, it is stable, and you don't have any kind of interruption during your business. So now, if we come back to this view, where let's assume you have chosen to implement your structuring and monitoring based on the SAP S4 HANA functions and modules. Now imagine you would have a system which could tell you based on your changes and migration process, what is the current status. Yeah? So whenever you move from one um, transport to the next one, it will tell you exactly before you go into production that look, here are the different areas which are targeted as red, and you need to make sure that those are covered and are tested correctly. Currently, the quality is not good. So this is the way ALM Octane can provide you a complete quality platform for your SAP S4 HANA process. So now let's go into ALM Octane and see how you can implement it. So basically what I have already done is I have prepared simple data for you to understand that there is a big value when you introduce ALM Octane as part of your continuous quality system for your improvements you are doing in S4 HANA transformation or in your daily use for your SAP S4 HANA projects. So let's see what are the different areas we have provided. So first of all, in the requirements module, and these are the recommended module for ALM Octane when you are doing a SAP S4 HANA migration transformation, or even just continuous improvement while you are deploying changes to your production environment. So this is the recommended views you should use. You could for sure use also the agile approach, but let's focus on this one. And in the requirements module, what I have already done is I've created a business requirement specification with few areas I would like to introduce from release 1.0 to 1.1. And I have here different SAP areas: sales and distribution, financial accounting, sourcing, procurement, supply chain. And when I look into this area, I have two modes here basically. So one of the tabs is about authoring requirement. And when you click on this authoring requirement, you basically see the whole structure of the requirements module in a more embedded document, which looks like a Word document. And you can see each chapter is divided into different nodes, and each node represents one single requirement you have from your SAP module. So for instance, I have here the sales and distribution module, and I can see I have three sub requirements which are representing my different SAP S4 HANA apps, like track sales order, sell from stock, or sales volume. And you can enter here all the technical information regarding the apps, as well as, or you can work with images or any kind of diagram you have created in ARIS. You can just copy and paste it into this area. Once you have defined this structure for you, you can move into the manage module to see what is going on your different requirements. And basically what Octane provides here is the overview tab, which allows you to directly see a quick view into your processes from the perspective of the release planning. So here I can easily understand what are the requirements I want to deploy for S4 HANA 1.0 and S4 HANA 1.1. And if you hover on those widgets and its bar, you can see the current state of the requirements, how many requirements I have in total, what are the number of requirements in draft, what requirements have been accepted, and what is the InDesign phase for the requirements. So I can see this based on the releases, and this helps me to do an even more accurate planning when deploying HANA or transforming to HANA. On the other hand, I need to also make sure that I have a concrete test coverage. Yeah? So when there are requirements which are not covered, I need to pull this out and see which are the requirements which are not covered, and I need to assign the test cases to them. So here it provides a basic overview where I can see per requirements node that for financial accounting, I have 9 requirements in total. For project management, 4 requirements. For sales and distribution, I have 3 test cases, as well as for supply chain management, I have 3 test cases. And for sourcing and for procurement, I don't have any. So this is one area which I need to focus when going towards the next release or even the next transport I'm planning to have with the maintenance planner or solution manager. I need to make sure that this area is covered as well. And when you have executed your test cases for S4 HANA, you can also see based on the SAP modules we had before, like finance, procurement, sales, supply chain, cash management, that what is the current progress for your SAP testing. So here I can see a good example for finance where I have in total 8 test cases or 8 executions. And from these 8 executions, I see that 5 are passed, which reflects the 63% of my execution and test progress. 1 test is blocked and 2 are planned. So this gives me a good overview on what is going on in this finance area. While as for sales and distribution, it looks everything is passed and I'm good and green here from the test execution perspective. One other aspect is to also have an eye on the open defects. Yeah, so I can see I have currently 2 defects which are open. One is in the phase new and the other one is in the phase opened. And I can also see what the severity is. So the one which is in opened has a medium severity, while as the one which is in new has a critical severity. And this is something what I need to really focus on when I deploying towards my production environment. That I make sure that those defects which are critical to my business are closed as soon as possible. But basically, this is the standard view without any context. And Octane works based on different contexts. And my context could be either here the structure of my requirements, or I can also apply additional context like the release area. Yeah? So when I apply a specific release, I just see the data in the view based on the release execution. So for release 1.0, I can see that release 1.1 is disappeared. Yeah? I only see the context specific data for this release and see also that there is one defect opened, which was the one which is in medium. And this is what I can use to really see if I have executed everything what was needed to cover the quality for my SAP S4 HANA project, and as well as the test progress. I can see I have here everything was green for my release 1.0, while as 2 test cases were blocked, but this was not a big issue. We have just moved them anyway into production. I have still 1 defect open, which I need to replan for the next release, and this can be done easily either directly from here, or I can click on the defect tab and select the release I'm looking into, and from here I can move the defect to the next release. So I can say it was detected in the release 1.0, but I will fix it, or our organization will fix it in the next release, which is the release 1.1. So while I'm working on the releases, I can always maintain the test cases and only see the test cases which are affecting my release by filtering also here that it should show me all the test cases which I have executed in release 1.1. So with this approach, you can really focus on your context, which is your deployment pack, your release towards your HANA implementation, and have the right data at the right time. So this is how you would structure the requirements module. So now let's go to the quality module. In the quality module, I have now a different view. As you can see, it's a really simple structure I have built to um, provide this demo in order for you to better understand how ALM Octane works. So you can see I have the finance module, cash management module, procurement module, sales and supply chain, as well as the project management module. And you basically see here I have also the overview tab, which allows me to see directly what are the execution now based on the different modules of SAP S4 HANA. And again, I can filter here based on the releases I have to see what and how they are impacting my module. And it also reflects if I have any open defects. So you remember just a few seconds ago, I have moved a defect from one release to the next release because the release 1.0 is over and I want to fix the defect in 1.1. When I am on my quality module and have the filter set to my release 1.0, it shows me exactly that there is no more open defect. So I can be moving towards the next release with more confidence and having the consideration that there's no risk attached to it. As well, on the bottom, I can see two additional graphs which are showing me the automation coverage. So maybe as part of your SAP S4 HANA project, you have a lot of manual testing you would like to transform towards automation. And here also Octane allows you to see directly how your automation progress is working, where you are currently staying. So I can see I have an automation progress of 5%, 14% of test cases I still need to automate. They are ready for automation and others are not automated and maybe I don't want to automate them. So this is a good way for you to use Octane in order to have a complete view on your SAP S4 HANA testing. So now let me go back to the management module. So if I go to the management module, you can see here that those are my two releases I have created with a start date and end date. And this can be really based on weekly deployments you are doing, or even if you want to track it, you can have a big release with additional milestones, and these milestones will reflect your deployment whenever you are deploying towards your production environment. And for all your maintenance projects or upgrade projects, create a release and build a structure within the release on the timeline. So you really see where you are currently staying and what's going on. And when you have done this, the implementation in the quality module, as well as the implementation in the requirements module, you can make use of the dashboard module, which allows you to really see what is the current execution status, how your project is progressing. So I can see now this heat map. And this is one thing which is very useful for me because it allows me to see directly what is going on, what are the different areas I have implemented in my HANA project, as well as what are the areas I need to consider when it comes to quality. And here I can see that in this project, I have a procurement area and finance area, which are red. So currently it is just showing me the data, but I can filter on a specific release because I have two releases and I can say I want to see the view on the 1.0 release. So I filter, and basically what it tells me is that for my 1.0 release, I was in all areas of SAP, I was green. So this is fine, as well as I had no open defects and all the defects I had were in status fixed, which is good to deploy towards production. And also here, what is the test progress? You can see directly that this test progress is fine for rolling out to production. While as when I move to the next release, which I'm currently working on, you will see that I have a lot of data which I need to consider. I have currently only 3 test cases which are planned, so they need to be executed. I have here 2 defects which are assigned and need to be fixed during this release. as well as here you can see the phases of my two defects which are open. And on the other hand, on the heat map, I can directly see that for finance and procurement, I have issues. So before I go towards the SAP S4 HANA production environment, I need to make sure that these areas are covered and I can close the gaps I may have here. So now let's run those test cases which are planned to see how these areas are impacted. So let's go to the quality module, and now I will filter on the release 1.0, move to the test area. So let's do it again. And here I can see the different runs. I can view the run and say I would like to execute this run directly from here. Now Octane will open the manual runner, and I can now go through all the different steps, and you can see here you have the different steps with snapshots, so it will show you exactly what you want to do, and once you have executed the test, you can decide if you want to say this is passed or failed, or if there was any issues, you can also create a defect directly on the step which is affected. You can see here that on any step you can add a defect at any time, but for now I say this is fine, I have tested it, it's good. So let's say this is passed, and if I go back now to my dashboard module, you will see that something is changing. So Octane allows you to really track your data with more accuracy as well as with more confidence for you to understand what are the defects if you want to go towards the next stage of deployment, that there is no critical defect opened anymore. So Octane gives you this platform for ensuring quality of your SAP S4 HANA project. So now let me go to the defect module and close those defects for us to have a better understanding what is the impact when I close it. So let me move this defect directly to fixed, and the other one which is also opened is this one. I can move as well to fixed. And now if I go to the requirements module and filter by the release 1.1, I can see I have an execution basically here where one test case for finance is passed, two are planned, one for cash management and the other one is for finance. But more importantly, I see that there is no defect opened anymore, and this is really the area I want to focus on. For sure, I need to add here additional test coverage. I can see for this release 1.1, I have no test coverage for the areas represented here, as well as if I go to the quality module, I can see for the release 1.1, I don't have test coverage for the other areas, only for cash management and finance. So the other areas are not covered yet. Or maybe if I don't want to have them covered, they will not be represented here. And what also interesting here is that for the automation perspective, when I was on release 1.0, I saw that there is an automation execution, while as in release 1.1, there is no test which has been executed automatically. So this is all pure manual testing, and this is also one thing which helps you to really do the automation on the different release processes and understand the need of automation. So with this platform, Octane allows you to go towards HANA with more confidence, reducing the risk and ensuring you have a high quality in your production environment.